Hey guys, Josh the RV Nerd here at Haylett's, and I want to talk a minute about bumper hitching on fifth wheels and travel trailers. There's a couple different ways to do it, and I don't think people realize they are not interchangeable. There's a number of different reasons to put a receiver hitch like this on the back of a towable RV. It could be anywhere from bike racks to cargo pods to I want to tow a little boat or a enclosed trailer behind my fifth wheel or something like that. And restrictions and regulations vary by state, so keep in mind most of what I'm sharing is based on my Michigan knowledge. Every state is different, and it's just not possible for me to have a clue what every state's doing. I can barely keep track of our own government. I'm not going to try to keep track of yours. That's your job. You live in that state. So the most trailers don't have any hitching on the back. I'm here looking at an Eagle HT for a reason, because they're one of the very few that do. But most trailers just have this nice tubular bumper back here. So if you want to put a bike carrier or something on the back, what can you do? The cheap and inexpensive method, which we sell the part, but I'm not a real big fan of it. There's a little bolt-on kit. There's a couple U-bolts. It bolts right onto the bumper, and you'll have a little 2-inch receiver hitch like this back there, and you think, great, now I can just start plugging stuff into it and hauling things down the road. Be super careful, guys, because now you're adding a lot of torsional stress to something that's not made to be super load bearing. This is a nice tubular steel bumper, but it's not like it's super thick I-beam steel. It can tear, and I mean not just bend. I've seen them tear because people put these big four bike carriers on the back and then tied a couple extra things to the bikes. And what you don't understand is when you're going down the road, this is so far behind the axles, there's so much bouncing and stress back here that it's getting 3-4 times the force of gravity and stress. So those 40-pound bikes just became 240-pound bikes depending on how hard you bounce them. I mean, it can get wacky real fast. Now there's 4 of them. It can be great. Well, bikes aren't 40 pounds. Anyway, you get what I mean. You can overload this thing quickly. So if you're going to just bracket something on the back, be super minimal with what you put into that. If you want to put real weight behind your trailer, you need to spend a decent amount of money to do it. You get what you pay for, guys. We all know that's true. But why would this be any different? It's the same. So to have, if your trailer doesn't already have one of these on it, you're going to be somewhere in the neighborhood of $500 to $600 to have something like this welded and reinforced directly to the frame. Be careful doing that, because if it's a brand new RV and you mess with the frame at all, if you have any sort of warranty needs, the manufacturer, the moment they find out you mess with the chassis at all, they're going to be like, sorry, you voided your chassis warranty. So keep in mind, there's cautions with every ounce of this. They're built for a reason. They're built with purposes in mind. If you start changing things, then you're changing the whole structure and geometry of the RV. It can be done properly, but you have to be careful and smart about how you do it. So for $500 bucks, you're probably just going to get just a receiver. When you start to get closer to the $600, you're going to start to get some of the wiring here. Now, the reason I'm looking at an Eagle HT is what's neat about these is they have the heaviest rated factory installed hitches that I'm aware of, really, in the business. This is a 3,000-pound tow limit with a 300-pound tongue rating. It has this hookups here for safety chains, and it even has the little 4-way bumper plug built right onto this thing. I'm not aware of anybody else that does that. That's a big chunk of money they spend on one of these. If you're an outdoorsy type person, this is a good rig for you, but other RVs can be equipped this way. What makes this so hard is the prolific nature of power rear stabilizer jacks and leveling systems now. If you have power jacks back here under the chassis, they occupy a ton of space that you need to be able to weld and gusset and reinforce this hitch on there. So keep in mind, just because you can see it in a brochure doesn't mean it can necessarily go on every single trailer. It is a case-by-case basis, something you be really cautious about. If you're going to tow behind a fifth wheel, you really need to investigate what you're doing and the hardware that goes on it. Be safe, please. I don't want anybody getting hurt. If you have more questions, if you want quotes on this stuff, if you want us to look at your rig, give us a call. 800-256-5196. Haylett RV of Coldwater, Michigan. Take care, stay safe, have fun. Happy camping, everyone.